What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday to all of you. Man, do we have a packed show. Thank you for watching Sportsbook Review. This is Betting with the Bag. Man, we have guests. We have the most guests that we've ever had on one show, and I'm excited about it. In 9 minutes, Drew Martin Betts will be joining us. 11 minutes after that, DJ Big Boss. Where will he be coming from? I have no idea. 11 minutes after that, we have the Big Ragu. We have the boss and the sauce. Then we have Jay from the Sports Keg making his live debut on Betting with the Bag, and then Spark Al Mac puts a bow on this bad boy. We also have Play of the Day videos from Mr. Fat Fist, the fight analyst and number one. This is going to be a big show, and I'm excited to be here with you guys. Thank you to all the cappers in the chat. Omar J. Legend says, I need a straight tonight, please, Jimmy. Yeah, let's take a look at this card and see what we got for you. Although I do like the Argos +7 quite a bit, but I don't know if that'd be my favorite play. Deer Slayer Ski down to the wire. Oh, Kyle Jack is down to the wire. Nice. 2 Mac plays this week. Ohio Toledo cover. My podcast is finally out. Yes, I will retweet your podcast. Definitely retweet your podcast. There's Kyle Jack joining us in the house, and I will also copy and paste your action here on this card. Going to copy and paste that. Book it. I did add 2 plays. I went with that Old Dominion look, and I also took the over 55 in the Boise Air Force game. That's a play championed by Big Ragoon. I jumped on it at 55. Raymond Reichart in the house. Ron Lofton ready to go. Riku Roxas. We got Joe. And Nisi says, I'm going to the Orioles-Mariners game. Oh, man, that's going to be so much fun. I'm on the over. Let's see if that move. We're going to roll through some of these baseball games very quickly. Byron Zuniga in the house. Zuniga in the house says, I need to hammer the books. Any good winners? Yeah, we're going to go over a ton of stuff. We got Imp13420 says, will anyone pick up AB? I don't think so. But who knows? You know, teams need winners. Bigger says, good riddance to AB. Screw him. All right, Raymond Reichart hit on Tulane -4.5. My only hit, instantly drove to the Hard Rock and won 300 in blackjack. Love hearing that. Great job. Cole Coleon, Nick the Slick. Got a TV. Jorge, don't play. Rich G, Eddie Euler. What a great group. Okay, let's get to work right now. So I told you about those 2 college football plays that I've added. Now I'm locked in on 4 spots here on this college football card. I added Utah -3.5 on the morning show. I also added the Argos +7. We'll talk more about that with Al Mack. He'll be our final guest. So we have 7 minutes before we're joined by Drew Martin. And already my card does not look good in baseball. Not at all. I don't see it. Oh, God. So I'm going to lose this over in the Cardinals-Cubs game. That was a mistake. Also, by the time I got to my desk, it was at 10.5, and I still bought the 10 juice. Wasn't poor capping there on that spot. I'm on the Indians team total over 4.5. Let's see if you can get that right now. Indians team total 4.5. See what that is right now. I've got to refresh the screen. Make sure I'm getting up-to-the-date info. Let's see if okay, click here to log in again. Yes, I've logged in. Let's see what Heritage is hanging. I got this team total over 4.5 at -140. It's a lot of juice to pay, but the Indians are starting to smash lefties, and I do not trust Drew Smiley. I do not trust Drew Smiley at all. There's Melee Payless Way now. 5-1 yesterday, 3+ lines. Credit to Lowbag Nation. Great job. Raymond Reichart, does Air Force show up tonight after a big win last week? You know, I'm much more comfortable just taking the over in that spot. And Jorge, don't play. How do I not give Jorge don't play love, man? You're such a... You're an OG low bagger, my man. Eddie always says, see what Al Mack thinks about the Argo game. I know he likes it. There's Comic Ricky in the house. Not a pickle. Say, Jimmy, I'm confused. Morning show, Teddy covers. Did he say he got it lit up the wazoo or he was betting? Good question. Drinking acid, Jimmy, I know you're working triple time. Just have to say, great work. Oh, thank you so much, man. Says, would say bottoms up, it's Friday. Yeah, I'd like to smash some Jameson or some CC very soon. But I enjoy the work. I enjoy working with you guys very, very, very much. Okay, Gio Mercedes took St. Louis in the under. Nice job. Okay, so I'm on the Indians team total over 4.5 at -140. If I wanted that right now, let's see what I'd get right now. If I wanted that, I would get... Here we go. Let's go. Come on. Take me there. Come on. All right. If I wanted it right now on the Indians, I would be getting 5.5 at +110. Okay, good. So I beat it. That's all I want. Then Blue Jays, Yankees, Wagas Pack, Hap. We can take a look at lineups. We're going to be joined now in 5 minutes by Drew Martin. Yankees have LeMahieu, Judge, Gregorius, Torres, Voit, Gardner, Frazier, Romine, Wade. For the Jays, Alfred. Oh, we got Alfred up in left field. Beautiful. Biggio, Gurriel, Guerrero Jr., Greichuk, Hernandez, Smoke, Jansen, and Urena at short. Gio Mercedes says, Jimmy, take a shot for me. I have no booze. I've got water and coffee here. I can't start booze. If I start boozing too early, then, then I'm an absolute mess. I gotta keep my shit together. Mikey D says Utah tonight -3.5 for -180. I think both cash. I'm on the 3.5. There's Red Girl in the house joining us. I don't trust Wagas Pack. This market move is going towards the under. Let's see what's doing now. Spreads and totals here at sportsbookreview.com SBR odds page. Let's see what we're dealing with in this spot. Here we go. Jays. Wow, it's back up to 10 across the board. So there was a 9.5 at Pinnacle earlier, and that's moved back up to 10. I don't know what Hap is going to give us. Either he was rolling right along before he got the, bicep tendonitis? What the hell is it called that he had? He has, where is this injury that he's got? Left bicep tendonitis. I'm not into it. Eddie Orr says, Jimmy doing the show drunk would be fun. Hey, I'll give you that opportunity at some point. Corey Simmons says, what was the taint? We do not know what the taint was. There's Dark Kent in the house, and there's Anthony L. taking USC on the other side and money line. Ant L, man. Leave it to Ant L to throw a twist into our Utes action. We have Mariners, Orioles. I'm on the over 10.5 at -109. Let's see what the move has done with it. Corey Simmons, there was no taint today. No taint from our guy, Matt Randall. Mariners, Orioles. Let's see what it's still 10.5. Still 10.5. I could get it at -113. I got it at -109. Okay, whatever. I'll take that 4-cent move. Let's see what these lineups are for this Seattle game. For Seattle, Shed, Long, Crawford, Seager, Lewis, Narvaez, Nola, Vogelbach, Moore, Gordon. That's who I want in the lineup if I'm taking it over. For the Orioles, VR, Mancini, Santander, Ruiz, Hayes, Stewart, Alberto, Davis, and Cisco. I'm comfortable there. We have 3 more minutes before we're joined up. So let's just keep rolling. Steve saying windy in Boise tonight. Mikey D saying Utah is for real. Red Girls action. I'm going to copy and paste this. She's on Indians first 5, Yankees first 5, Brewers first 5, Braves first 5. That will be copied and pasters. All right, here we go. And Kyle Jack says he was on it last week, Air Force. So was I, and I'm not going back to the well. BT says, due to liquor stores told me Canadians don't drink Crown Royal. He said y'all drink Bird Dog. Bird Dog. Oh, it's a sales pitch, BT. It's a sales pitch. And Anthony, I know that you like money. Dutch Boy Fresh says, take a look under first 5 Miami. Okay, let's do that. And I'm going to need Drew to help me. And I know Drew is probably going to want to give us his college football looks, but I do want to hit this. This is our chance to hit a little bit more. Jamal Stone says, time for USC to send a message. And that's Nate. Hit no score. Cardinals. Hit no score first inning. Cardinals under. Cardinals run line about to hit. Great job. Great job. Is Cardinals run line about to hit? Oh, you mean you took the plus. Plus 1.5. Okay, let's keep rolling. Keep rolling. We have next up is that Red Sox Rays spot. I like the Rays -1 in the morning show, but money was moving towards Boston and I paused. Let's see if that's happening still. Okay, no, it's come back. Probably should have taken it when I had the chance. I'm going to take it, though. I just think this Boston Red Sox team has given up, and these Rays... Let's take a look at the lineups before I make this move, actually. This was a lean that I'd like to take a look at the lineups first. For Tampa, Wendell, Meadows, Pham, Choi, Darno, Kiermaier, Garcia, Duffy, Adames. I like it. For Boston, Mookie's back in the lineup. Betts, Vasquez, Devers, Bogarts, Benintendi, Holt, Moreland, Bradley Jr., Hernandez. Does Mookie spark them? Or does Porcello just get touched like always? Anthony L is on the A's, Rangers under 9, and first 5 under 5. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste that. Wally George, I wish I was on that Serie A over this morning. Nice job. You're going to give us one again Saturday shortly. I was just overwhelmed today with the Audible as well. So I'm going to copy and paste this. I wouldn't mind taking a look at it. That's the Fire start, isn't it? The Fire's minor start. Well, that's a good look. Our Aunt L doubling up there. That's a good look. Okay, so... I'm hesitant with Mookie Betts coming back in the lineup. I'm hesitant to take that -1. Eddie Euler leaning to the Red Sox -1.5 or plus 1.5. Excuse me. All right. Patrick Hay says, can we get some insight on the Arizona game? Seems like there could be value either side, but 2 underachievers being spooky lately. We'll talk about that. Red Girl leaning Tampa Bay first 5. Lance Rose leaning San Francisco. Let's go over to that spot right now. Let's bring in Drew Martin. Let's not keep him on the bench. These guests are not getting a lot of time today, so let's bring him on right now. Let's not be late on bringing him on. Please welcome to the show, now making his home in Las Vegas, Nevada, Drew Martin in the house. Drew Martin, how you doing, man?
Jimmy, I'm doing good, man. Friday before college football Saturday, always a fun time, man. And happy to be on the show, jam-packed show. Good to see you got a lot of talent coming in, so we can get right after it, bro.
I like it. Thank you. I'm excited about it too. Let's talk a little bit about baseball here. We have our Aunt L liking this under in the Rangers Athletics game and doubling up on this under. Very exciting. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Go on the sportsbookreview.com SBR odds page. We are dealing with, let's go right now. Here we go. Oakland. Oh, it was 9, now 8.5. Good work getting the 9. Was there a 9 available on the morning show? No, it was 8.5 on the morning show. 8.5 minus 115. So that hasn't been a huge amount of change. Let's see what we're dealing on the first five total here. Is there going to be a 5? Tell me there's a 5. There is a 5. There is a 5, and there's been very little movement, but Bookmaker already moved it down to 4.5. I like it. I'm in. Oh shit, I'm not logged in. That's my fault. I'm not logged in. Those aren't my regular opening lines. Okay, I like this under 5. First 5, under 5. I like it at minus 118. What do you think about it, Drew? Texas A's.
When Friars is on the hill at home in Oakland, we've seen it time and time again this year, Jimmy. I mean, he's put together really a great career, but this year especially, it's just kind of his profile of pitcher. It does well out there on the West Pitchers Ballpark. It will be a night affair. It's not as hot as it used to be in the summertime. So I would look towards Oakland here, minus 190, and towards the under of 8.5. So yeah, I'm with you on that first 5 under. I like where you're going with that.
Nice job. Anthony L says, I bet it at 10 p.m. Central last night. I ain't late to the party on MLB. Okay, I'm going to jump on it right now. I'm going to jump on the first 5. It's still available. I can't get the full game. Can't double up like NL, but I can still get in on this first 5. Under 5 and minus 118. That's the best I can get, and that's at Pinnacle. Are you making any moves on this MLB card?
No, Jimmy, I'm full blown. Friday before college football, I'm going all college football. So I haven't made any personal bets on tonight's MLB card now.
Nice. It's just refreshing to hear full blown or fully blown and not be referred to HIV and AIDS. Let's get to work. Where are you taking us in college football, Drew?
Yeah, it's good.
All right. We have a little bit of a frozen issue with our guy. We don't have time for him to freeze. Let's see if we can get him back rolling again, and we're going to be calling him back. Okay, while that's happening, let's look at a couple more games. We have the Brewers with Anderson against Brault. But, I mean, do you want to take the Brewers at this kind of a spot here? I'm not sure. There's Anthony Chalmers in the house. Eric Nisbet on the Utes with us. Rex in college football in the house. Okay, here we go. Do we want Milwaukee at minus 210? No, we lost that line move. Definitely do not want that. All right, Drew Martin back in action. Not applicable says Drew keeps his wazoo clean, so we don't need to worry about any of that. Drew Martin, college football. What's your first look?
Always protection, you know that, Jimmy, especially down there in Central America, but and in Las Vegas, really anywhere you go. Utah at USC tonight. I like the Utes here, Jimmy. I when I was coming on, I think I heard a commenter say something about looking towards USC. I don't know. When you look at sides to bet in college football, Utah checks off a lot of the important boxes, in my opinion. They're the better coach team, Jimmy. They have the better quarterback. They have the better defense, better defensive line. Yeah, they are on the road laying points. It is a short number here. I've been trying to wait to kind of add on to my Utah Utes bet, hoping it gets down to -3. I don't know if we're going to see it. Still 3.5s out there. Maybe buy down to 3 at -125, -130, or just lay the 3.5 with the Utes. But I think we got the better team, and they're mispriced here. So even though they are on the road, I like Utah to cover the short number, Jimmy.
So do I. Rex in college football loves it. Says Utah by 21. Mohamed Joma says USC is another massively overrated program. I like it. I'm on the Utes. I back that. Do you have any move on this Louisiana Tech, Florida International spot, or Air Force Boise State?
FIU is a team I was really looking to bet on coming into this season, and kind of worried that I got the wrong read on them. Morgan, their quarterback, is banged up. Keep that in mind. He might play, but still not 100%. And Louisiana Tech is a team in Conference USA that's big up front on the defensive lines. They got guys that can get after it. So that's not a good combination. I'm looking in Ruston tonight. I would actually look towards Louisiana Tech, a -7 number here at Bet Online. That's where I would point to if you're looking for action in the CUSA game. Also, Air Force Boise State, not a game that I bet. I would look for ways to bet on Boise State being at home. I know their numbers ATS wise aren't as good at home. I just think the talent disparity here is pretty wide, and Air Force, maybe a week late and trying to buy low on the Falcons. So I would look towards Boise State, but that's not a game I bet. The game for tonight in the 3-pack of college football that I really like is the Utah Utes.
I jumped on this over in Boise, and should the 20-mile-an-hour wind, is that the reason why I jumped on it early this morning? Not early, after the morning show. So I knew it was a play that Ragu liked, and now I'm seeing 53s, 53.5. That's because of the 20-mile-per-hour wind, I'm guessing. Do you think that the market move towards the under makes sense?
It does. I mean, yeah, 20-mile-an-hour wind's not going to help the over. And also keeping that in mind, it's one thing that would keep me off the Boise State side as well, just because the strong winds are going to hurt the Broncos more than they're going to hurt the Falcons. The Air Force team going to keep the ball on the ground a little more. So maybe that correlates under an Air Force. But still, not a game that I particularly have a great read on either of these two teams. So I'm probably not going to bet on it personally.
I'm starting to get the feel that there's just a bias going on with Air Force because of what we saw them do last week, and Boise State at home is the play. A lot of people in the chat saying it. Anthony else says Boise State prison sex is Air Force tonight. Steve says Boise State by +10. Do you think Boise State, Eric Nisbet leaning towards Boise State, do you think we should make a move on Boise State here?
Well, I don't think the wind helps us in terms of betting on Boise State, so that's what's keeping me off of it. If you made me bet it, I would probably be on Boise State just because, they've played this Air Force Falcon team in the past, conference foes, so they're used to the option offense, and being at home should help with practice. So those are all things that point me towards Boise State, and they're the more talented team top to bottom with the better passing quarterback. So, yeah, if you made me bet it, I would be on Boise State, but it's not something I'd bet on personally.
Okay, I'm good. Let's talk about your best looks come this Saturday. Come tomorrow, 24 hours from now. What is your best looks on this card?
Sure. I like a couple big underdogs, which just right at the top of the card. The first game up, 3-11, 3-12, Louisiana Monroe at Iowa State. I think this Sun Belt team, ULM, we saw it against Florida State. They can move the ball. They have a really good quarterback, a good coach in Matt Viator, and I think that they can stay within 3 touchdowns here. The market's moved it from 19 to 18. I jumped on it at 19. Might add some more here at 18 before kickoff. But Iowa State, it's a tough spot for them, coming off of the Cyhawk game, plus ULM extra time to prepare for this. So I like ULM plus the 19 if you can find it, 18.5. Also Charlotte catching a big number against Clemson. I think this 49ers team can score against Clemson. Also, maybe not get their doors blown off defensively. So we're catching over 40 points, fading Clemson. It's one that we talked about earlier in the week, Jimmy. And I think the 49ers might be worth a look. They kind of went toe-to-toe with App State, who's the best team in the Sun Belt, and I think they might be able to carry that over and stay within 40 points of Clemson. So I also put 1 unit on Charlotte plus 42.5 earlier in the week.
I remember you being on that play, and it was an exciting play. And now we get an extra half point if we took it now, or even a full point at 42 at Bovada. Charlotte, oh man, Drew, that would be one of those games where we'd be sitting at the book drinking heavily, and I'd be enjoying every second of it, counting down the seconds as we try to get this plus 41 and a half. There's Drew's second look, plus 41. Drew, anything else you're liking on this card?
Yeah, I mean, I like a bunch of games. This is the most volume I've had this college football season. So I'll just run down. You can stop me, Jimmy, if we're running out of time. But Coastal Carolina versus UMass, the Minutemen and the Chanticleers. I like the over of 61 in this. I know it's not, two not very good teams, but both offenses can move the ball, and UMass's defense is probably the worst unit in all of college football, both defense and offense. They can't really stop anybody. So in the low 60s here, only 61. I like Coastal Carolina, UMass over. I think both offenses really have a lot of success. UCF versus Pittsburgh, Jimmy. UCF, it's no secret now, 20-6 against the number. It's just it's a train that I'm not jumping off until further notice. So minus 11 here. I think that they have the athletes to kind of run it up on Pittsburgh. I know it's on the road, but still, it's tough to step in front of UCF. So I bet UCF minus 11. I like Temple laying the number against Buffalo. Now it's up to 15. So it is getting a little out of hand. I'm just looking to fade Buffalo. Auburn, Texas A&M. I love this under, Jimmy. I think that but both offenses, both quarterbacks are going to struggle against the opposing defensive line. We saw Mond struggle against Clemson's defensive line. He's going to see another D-line like Clemson in Auburn's, maybe even better. And I just don't see him being accurate. Plus the fact Bo Nix, the quarterback for Auburn, he gets a lot of mainstream pub, just kind of like, the freshman that won the game against Oregon. But really, I don't think he's looked that good. And Gus Malzahn won't run a lot of pace if the offense isn't getting a lot of first downs. So I think the tempo is going to be slower than a lot of people realize. I like the under of 48 in Auburn versus Texas A&M as well.
Wow, I like these looks. ULM plus 19, Charlotte plus 41, the Coastal Carolina UMass over the Auburn under. Am I missing one in there?
I have more plays. So I guess Oregon minus 10.5 against Stanford. Kind of really looking to fade Stanford in this 3-game stretch. They got blown out by USC, got blown out by UCF. Now coming all the way across the country. Tough travel spot here against a good Oregon offense. I would look for the Ducks minus 10.5 in that one. Kind of a later game in the Pac-12 as well, Jimmy.
I like that. I like these looks, and we've talked quite a bit about him with Teddy all week, so it's nice to hear him on a Friday. You get to hear Drew Martin Monday, Tuesday. You get to hear his early looks, and then you get to hear the late looks on Friday. What a treat it is to roll with you. Thank you so much for stopping by, Drew Martin. Can you tell us where we could find you on Twitter, and tell us a little bit about the big closing line show tomorrow morning?
Yeah, tomorrow morning with Big Ragu, we got DJ Big Boss, Ian Cameron as well. So 11 a.m. Eastern, guys, just going to be rapid firing through games. Talk the big ones as well, late moves. So we got free bets. Join us in the chat box. It's a lot of fun, a lot of low baggers out there. And shout out to the chat box. Good to see all you guys in here, man. Always fun. And Jimmy, thanks for having me on. And you can follow me on Twitter at Drew Martin Bets. So always fun, guys. And best of luck with your guys' bets out there.
Much love to you. There he is, Drew Martin, now making his home in Las Vegas, Nevada. Love having him on our Friday Late Show. We go right from Drew Martin to DJ Big Boss. Where is Big Boss coming from? Okay, we're going to need a little bit of time. Sorry, we're not going to be able to jump on that. So, hey, Drew, are you still with us?
I'm here, man.
Okay,
yeah.
Then why don't we keep working? So, is there another spot on this card that you're thinking about hammering?
Yeah, look, I just got to pull up my my card here. I guess you can jump. You can ask me any question in college football. I guess the Michigan-Wisconsin game, a lot of people are interested in. I like Wisconsin here, Jimmy. I mean, 110-0. I know that they didn't play, the stiffest of competition there, but still USF, a bowl team anyway. They kind of slid since then. So I just think Wisconsin will be able to move the ball, and Michigan offensively, Harbaugh, I'm just not a big fan of what they're doing. Shea Patterson isn't as accurate as he has been in the past. So really try to bet on accurate quarterbacks and not really seeing that from him out the gate. So I'd look towards Wisconsin, plus they're at home jumping around. And Cal versus Ole Miss, another one here in Oxford. This is a game that I bet as well. I like the SEC team here, Jimmy, under a field goal. Cal with a tough fought game. They went, late night last week, now having to come east, a tough travel spot here, and it's 9 a.m. body clocks for the Cal Golden Bears. They're out there on the West Coast. They're going to be playing 12 noon Eastern, so it's a 9 a.m. kick for them in Ole Miss. That can be a tough place to play. A fun party school. Hotty toddy. They're always going to be kind of hydrated before the games, and I just like Ole Miss here under a field goal.
So, but there was talk whether we just missed the spot there. I mean, Ole Miss was a dog at first, right? Let me get to this game. Sorry, it's an early spot on this card. Let's get to this Cal Ole Miss. Ole Miss opening up a plus 1.5 now, minus 2.5. 4-point move towards Ole Miss. And let's go to this total too. We've had a lot of talk about this total, this Cal Ole Miss total. Here we go. Let's pop this up right now. Open at 44, all the way down to 41.5. So you still think there's value at Ole Miss because it's under a field goal? What do you think about this total?
Both defenses are pretty good. I think both offenses could struggle. Corral, the quarterback for Ole Miss, he's a dual threat guy, and with each passing game, he's a young guy. So I would look for him to kind of improve against Memphis. He did struggle out the gate, but just a young guy with each passing game. I think that he will do better. Mike McIntyre, and we got Rich Rod in terms of the two coordinators for Ole Miss. Rich Rodriguez and McIntyre, the old head coach for Buffalo. In terms of coordinators, I think that Ole Miss actually has the two best coordinators in all of college football. So I think Rich Rod, we've seen it in the past, him working with dual threat quarterbacks and them getting better throughout the season. So that's also a reason that I kind of have Ole Miss circled as bet on. And then you add in the fact that Cal's playing at 9 a.m. in a tough travel spot. I still like it here under a field goal. And I think that the market, pushing it this way in terms of getting good numbers, it's always important, Jimmy. But in earlier season college football, especially like in this sweet spot, week 2 to like week 5, week 6, the moves are these big shifts. They're happening for a reason. So I just think that the market's also telling us that Ole Miss is the right side here. You always want to get good numbers, but it's still under a field goal, man.
And we have some questions coming from the chat. Our guy Dutch Boy Fresh says, Drew still fading his school. Are you still fading? I know you like the under in Auburn, Texas A&M, but are you still liking the side with Texas A&M?
If you made me bet a side, I'm not going to bet this one just because Mond I don't think is going to look that good against Auburn's defensive line. That's what's pointing me towards this under. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Bo Nix out the gate. I think they need to work in Joey Gatewood, a little bit more mobile quarterback. But for whatever reason, Gus Malzahn, a smart coach, he sees it in him. So I just don't think this offense for Auburn is really humming. And I don't think that they're going to put up a lot of points tomorrow on the road in Texas A&M. Remember, this is College Station, over 100,000 people, and he is a true freshman making his first true road start. I would not expect Bo Nix to play well, and I just think if you made me bet a side, I would be on Texas A&M, man.
Would be on Texas A&M. Great stuff, Drew. We had a bit of problems with our DJ Big Boss's computer. He's rebooting it, so thank you for sticking around with us, Drew, my man. Catch Drew tomorrow morning on the Closing Line show. He will be alongside Babano, Big Ragu, and DJ Big Boss there. Drew, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, peace, Jimmy. Best of luck to you, man. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, my friend. And we go into our next guest. We go right from Drew Martin to the Big Ragu in the house, representing Central Florida here, joining us on Betting with the Bag. Ragu, how you doing on this Friday evening, my man?
As good as it gets, brother. How about yourself?
All right, we're good for sound. Sorry, I missed that, but I imagine it was I'm doing great, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Lamont Williams, no taint play. Ragu, I've been going over your plays all week. I'm going to bring them back up here, but you may have some new looks that you're jumping on. I'm going to bring them back up here right now. Sorry, just let me pull them up. I've really enjoyed the opportunity to talk about your looks, and I love going over everything that you were on, and let's do it again. Ragu was liking the Boise Air Force over 55. Does a 20-mile-per-hour wind make you dislike that look?
Listen, Air Forces, they fly planes, right, in windy conditions. I'm still taking the game. I don't care. I'm on the 55 over on that one.
Okay.
But I still need to take the salami out of my ass that Houston gave me last night in that game.
That was a tough loss. I don't mean to be. I'm laughing at the salami out of your ass, not the not the situation in the game. I was cheering for you guys there. I liked your look there. I followed two of your spots: Boise Air Force over 55. I also followed the Utes. Tell us more why you like the Utah Utes.
All right, 3 reasons: Tyler Huntley, Zach Moss, and Whittingham. And I know they got a stat. 1916, they haven't won there. We're not playing in 1916. It's 2019, my friend. So current stats I'll look at, trends I'll look at currently, but I don't care about a stat in 1916. They haven't won there. They're the better team right now. They're going to travel well. They got the better defense, like our boy Drew said. And I think, even though they played a tough game back up BYU last week, Utah is definitely the better team. Shorter number. Utah gets the job done in the Coliseum.
I love it. I'm on it. Your next 2 looks are Texas A&M and Wisconsin. Has anything changed there? You like both? And if you do, explain a little more why.
Okay, play this microphone here. Basically, we will start with the A&M game in Auburn. Okay, we know that Kelly Mond played a tough game. Didn't look the best that he's looked at Clemson. Now they get the comforts of coming back to College Station and reverse the roles here with Nick's coming on the road playing his first tough game. And we all know Jimbo is a big game coach. So I think even though the number is 3.5, 4, I would lean under. Like I know Drew said he liked the under, but I like the side better than the total of this game. I think that A&M is going to not have their way with this team, but they're going to play a sharper game. They're going to go against that defensive front seven, which is a beast. But I think Jimbo could scheme this game and get the win at home. I'll lay the 4, 3.5. I'm already in at 3.5, but I know it's up to 4 right now.
Still laying it with A&M. I like that. And then we have your look on Wisconsin, Michigan. Why are you liking whiskey here? Oh, let's get okay, there we go. Why are you liking whiskey here?
Number one, I like whiskey to drink, first off. But as far as the game goes, I like Wisconsin for multiple reasons. Number one, Jonathan Taylor, Heisman Trophy candidate. Both teams had a week off to prepare here. I know Michigan's a higher ranked team going to the lower ranked team, and usually when the lower ranked team is favored, that's usually a good look there as far as the outcome goes in the game. Not always, but a high percentage play. And I just think they've got the better team right now. Like Shea Patterson has not impressed me yet. They come off of 2 games where they weren't really dominating games for them. And the way that Wisconsin's rolling right now, 110-0, even though they're not the best teams on the board, they're impressive the way they won their game. So I think Wisconsin's the better looking team right now. It's a short number at home, even though some of the power ratings have Michigan on the better look as far as the numbers go. I'm going by the eye test. Give me Wisconsin.
Backing Wisconsin. We've had a lot of debate about that game, but you are in good company. You are in good company. So those were the looks that our Big Ragu gave out on the Pick 6 show. Is there anything that you are adding to your card, Big Ragu?
Oh, yeah, I got a lot, man, but I'm not going to bet them all. But, I like there's a lot of looks I like here. We can start off with the Drew talked about the Pittsburgh UCF game. Now, I'm a hometown boy for UCF, but I think they got a tough trip coming up in Heinz Field this week. I think there's too many digits in that line. I think Pittsburgh can kind of play almost the same game that they put up on Penn State last week. Even though they're not the same team, I think they can bring them the same look as far as, coming in there and trying to slow that game down and grind it out with them and, not give UCF as many looks. And they're coming off this will be the second FBS team they played on the road. On top of that, in a different environment, I think the game sets up nicely for Pittsburgh to get a cover. Not a win, but, I think 2 scores is going to be too many for them.
Interesting. We've been talking about that back and forth, and I like your backing of Pittsburgh there. All right, we got Ragu's extra look. Start rolling through them, Ragu.
All right, this is going to be my dog of the day tomorrow. I'm going to give it out on the closing line, so you're going to get an early gift here with this one. We're going to look at Stanford and coming back home. Now, I think Stanford here, they played a tough game at UCF. Not that they're getting any healthier, but I just think this game sets up pretty nice for them here. They've been in this role before as a home dog. You're like 6-0 at home. So I like Stanford not just getting the points, but winning the game outright. Stanford gets the W at home tomorrow.
Wow, that is a big dog of the day. Taking Stanford to get right at home. Big Ragu's dog of the day, Stanford. I love it. Keep rolling.
Let me go down my list here. Hang on, my man.
All good. Larry Savage says Ragu sauce barking. Gas Station Sushi.
Yeah.
Gas Station Sushi said took University of Pittsburgh money line. Oh man, there's some big balls action from our Gas Station Sushi. All right, what's next, Ragu?
Well, how about this game here? Florida, Tennessee. All right, now everybody's worried about our guy Felipe Franks, getting hurt in the game, and I don't think he's been a prolific player, more of a game manager type. And the kid that's coming in behind him, he can pick up the pieces just as well as Felipe can. Mullen's a quarterback coach. He's going to have an ace in the hole. Tennessee's not looking real sharp here. I know it's a huge number, but they're playing in the swamp, and Florida has owned this series big time. I like the last 13 out of 14 against Tennessee, and Tennessee's not a good-looking squad right now. And even though it's a big number, I think Florida can cover it. My power ratings has Florida by 17 here, so that was a lean. These are going to be more leans, guys. They're not solid. I mean, they're solid leans, but they're not plays that I'm going to be officially on. But I like Florida here to win by 17 points at home in the swamp.
Backing Florida to win at home. Dog of the day, Stanford. Also liking Pittsburgh. These are Ragu's extra looks. Ragu's extra looks. And then the plays he gave out on the Pick 6 show. Boise Air Force over 55. Utah, Wisconsin, and Texas A&M. Ragu, we've got to make moves. We've got to bring in DJ Big Boss. But are you making a move on the big Pennsylvania Derby tomorrow?
Yeah, yes, I am. I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to jump into it. Now, we all know Improbable is going to be the big favorite here. Without a doubt, Mike Smith is coming cross country to ride this guy. And that's usually a solid look there. But he hasn't impressed me this year at all overall. He's probably the better horse, and it's probably going to be the cheapest price. Nobody's giving War Will respect. That was a tired horse in the Jim Dandy he ran. And maybe the rest will help him out here. But I'm looking somewhere else. I'm looking for a horse that's stepping up in class a little bit. He's a hometown hero. He's 3 for 3 at the track. And you're going to get a hell of a price on him. He's out of hard spun, and he's a Grand Slam mare. Spun to run. Paco Lopez is 30% jockey on the route races this year. He's a 25% winner. And he did run this race against Maximum Security up at the Jersey race, which he came third. It was going off at 34-1. So the word is out on this horse. He's the wise guy horse to play. Spun to run, number 5. I'm going to bet winning place 50-50, and then I'm going to play just for insurance. I'm going to use the number 2 Improbable on top with spun to run in a $50 exacta. So $150 bankroll, 50 win place of 5, and a $50 exacta 2-5. He's going off 8-1, 5, number 5. Spun to run.
Spun to run, number 5 at 8-1 with Paco Lopez in the reins. Well, I love when Ragu comes in and gives us thoroughbred looks because he's always looking to find value, and that's what he's done right here. Spun to run at 8-1. I love it, Ragu. So sweet. You can catch Ragu live on the closing line tomorrow morning. Ragu, where can we find you on Twitter?
At BIGRAGOO62, Big Ragu 62. And we'll see you guys at the window, and we'll see you tomorrow here on the SBR Network.
There he is, Big Ragu in the house. Love having him on this Friday. We go right from Big Ragu to DJ Big Boss. Where's Big Boss coming to us from? Representing Long Beach, California, by way of Compton, California. Please welcome to the show, DJ Big Boss. How you doing on this Friday afternoon, boss?
What's up, Jimmy? You got me out here on the prowl trying to find some new work, Jimmy. Those ladies last time, the Dominatrix twins, oh man, it was too much, man. They taking too much meds and stuff. I need me a nice woman like this young lady right here who probably just has a couple creams she has to put on, opposed to the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday pack of prescription drugs that those other ladies had. But I'm just right here where I do my best work and make the best. Look how she's smiling, Jimmy. Look how she's smiling.
Look at that smile, man. Oh, I see what you're seeing, man. She could probably teach you a thing or 6 as well, man. She looks like she's gratifying somebody right now with that smirk, man. I like it. I like it, boss. I've always had respect for you hammering those elders, man. It's never going to go away, man. I like it. All right, Big Boss, we always talk about Mountain West where he does it best, but really, it's the Golden Age women, man. That's where he does it best, man. He just got some magic with them. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but he rolls up to our hotel, the Diplomat, and within seconds he's got the nicest hotel room in the whole building, man. He's got this guy. He can talk the talk, man. And I think you're gonna have a wonderful night with that fiery young lady. Boss, let's talk capping. Let's talk football on our Pick Six show. On our Pick Six show, you gave out a few looks, and I liked them. And let me just pull them up right now. I'm going to pull them up right now. Texas -5, Western Michigan, Syracuse over, LSU Vandy under at 62, and Arkansas -21. Why don't we start with Texas -5? And I believe they've been taking action, right? You can't get -5s anymore. I'll pull that up in a second, but tell us why you like Texas.
It's a done deal, Jimmy. 2-unit play in the Pick Six contest. Texas -5. I'm already in there on it. I'm knee deep in it. Why? Because this is this coach's third year right here. He's doing great. The team is following along. They had a nice schedule plan for them to get a little bit of hot sauce and a little sugar on the side. So they all digested well and ready to go. And it's a home game in Texas. As a matter of fact, there's about 3 to 4 home games in Texas, and this will be one of the big ones, and I expect them to bring it home for the Longhorns.
Longhorns to take them home. Longhorns backing Texas. We've had a lot of back and forth about that spot against Oklahoma State. Next look on your card is Western Michigan, Syracuse over. Tell us about that.
This one I fell back on, Jimmy. I like the look. A couple other cappers like the look on the over, but I'm looking more towards the Syracuse side. I guess I might have been too influenced by the media, but I was thinking around the same thing they're thinking, is that here's an opportunity for Syracuse to open up a little bit and score some points and, actually win a solid game. We're getting a decent number from the recency bias, especially since the Clemson game. But I'm sure they had to run a lot of laps, got chewed out and some more stuff for allowing that last touchdown. All the coaches that were hammering the online bets probably had them to cover, but that blew it. So they've probably been nailed bad for that. And they're going to come back a little apologetic to themselves and to the fans, and they're going to bring home a win as well in Syracuse.
Man, so are you making a move then on the side? Are you locking in a side?
You guys stay tuned to the closing line to see what I finalize that right there. But since I've been doing a little additional study and just a little browsing through the media, I see a few things that I might want to go back and address on that team. And if all is well, and I'm on the right side, I think Syracuse may be the play opposed to the total. That's a high total. Anything can happen. A fumble on the goal line, a pick in the red zone can change the whole thing at 65.
Are you still high on that over 62? Western Michigan, Syracuse over. It's gone down a point. Are you still high on it?
No, I'm not high on that at all. That's why I jumped over to the side a little, Jimmy. I'm definitely not going to put that one in. It may be the best play, and I find myself doing this a lot. I'm sure a lot of cappers do it. Sometimes we look past some of our best stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and let that one fall off. I'm going to keep my money in my pocket.
All right, we are off that. Let's go to your next look. LSU Vandy under. It was at 62 when you liked it. You still like this LSU Vandy under? It's still at 62.5.
That number is high, Jimmy. It continues to look high to me with a LSU team that, they have a good, if you look at the stats, how many touchdowns and all that kind of stuff, it looks good. But when you watch the game, the offense struggles a little bit. The defense is awesome, though. DBU is a real thing over there, and I think that they keep it low. This might be one of those totals that's like half, of what they got out there right now. So I'm really leaning towards the under in this game.
Okay, good. I like it because I've liked that look. And, man, did you ever nail the perfect time to jump on that Tulane-Houston over? Thank you for that. We could have got it late. It doesn't matter when we got it. But 55.5 was a beautiful, beautiful spot. All right, perfect. LSU, Vandy, under. I like it. Next up, Arkansas, San Jose. Arkansas -21. Are you still liking that spot?
Hey, this is what we call in the Mackin world We call this a Sunday right here. You know why we call it a Sunday? Give me a guess, Jimmy. Why do you think we call this a Sunday?
Sorry, I was looking at a message and I kept locking eyes with that beautiful woman behind you. What was the question?
I said we call this pick right here a Sunday. Why do you think we call this a Sunday?
Because okay, let me see. I guess because you're going to have hot chocolate dripping down your chest onto your voluptuous breasts?
Not at all, Jimmy. It's because it's easy, Jimmy.
Oh.
It's easy like Sunday morning. You wake up Sunday mornings, it's always easy. And this Arkansas team should T-roll. That's what we called it back in the day. It should T-roll San Jose State. They offset. The time is gonna be off for them. They're not good at traveling. They're just gonna be thrown way out the loop. And Arkansas is over there happy. They got to get what they got to get now. They're getting ready to get into conference play. And I think they go out there and roll them dudes up.
I like it. I think both work. I think that both work. I like this spot here. I'm going to jump on Arkansas minus 21 with you. Is it still at 21 or is it 21 and a half? Is money been coming in? Let me check this out right now. Arkansas, here we go. Where are you? God, so many games on this card. The late game with Arkansas. I can't find it for some reason. Is there any other looks that you're going to be looking at to add on your card, or do we have to catch you tomorrow? Is there anything else you want to jump on?
I'm trying to keep a couple jewels for tomorrow. I always like to give the people a little something new, so I'm definitely going to be cracking a fresh best bet for the closing line tomorrow. And I didn't see much dogs out there, but I'm going to be looking for an edge on a nice dog for that part of the show. And I got a lot to say about a lot of these games that's going on this week, but most of them I'm not going to play like that. Got a bunch of plays that I've already played, which we already went over. Plus tonight, Jimmy, I'm already up a unit from last night. Tonight, another one I wanted to talk about, me and Big Raccoon both on the over in the Boise State game. And to those who thrashed me in the chat about not really capping weather, at some point you got to leave some spectacles out, before you can, overwhelming yourself with every little nook and cranny can kill you. So 25-mile winds now. We don't know what that's going to be at game time. We don't know what the game plan is for the teams anyway. We just know it may be a little more difficult to pass. But that can mean interceptions. That could mean fumbles, all type of stuff. So I'm kind of wiping that out of the equation. I still like the over, but liking the side of Boise State even better. I think this is a tricky spot. And the bookies set the line up around like 9, and they let the public actually drive it down. I think you got to listen to what they're trying to tell you there. This team is going to win by more than 10 against this Air Force team. Boise State is back in the Mountain West to claim the throne right now. Fresno State is pretty much down. San Diego State will fall off. Maybe one of the Air Forces, maybe one of the difficult teams they had to face on their home field, but no big deal for Boise State. They out-recruit Air Force by miles, man. They get the best players, the best talent in the Mountain West. Air Force is limited to the players that they can have. Although a lot of them came back, cool. But what I seen against the Colorado game, I see a bunch of flaws. They only played Colgate before that. I don't know what the public is building all this trust in the Air Force. Maybe it's because it's an election year coming up. I don't know. But I'm liking I think that Heritage, you can get a solid 7. Jump on the 7 with Boise State at home. That would do no harm.
Money's coming back in on Boise State. And then we've had Mississippi Kid hammering, loving this spot here with Air Force. I think I'm going to stay off the side at this point, but we still have time to look into it. DJ Big Boss, thank you so much for joining us. What plans do you have with that beautiful woman behind you tonight? You taking her somewhere special?
Look here, youngsters. I'm going to tell y'all how to keep y'all macking right. What you do with a nice young lady like this, man, you keep her indoors, She's not too fond of what's available on the internet. So you pull up the laptop, you pull out the blanket, let her do her creams, take her meds, light a little candle right there, and you show her how to surf the web. You know, you find out some things that she's interested into, you know. And after that, you go ahead, drop them balls on the walker, and you good to go, players. Don't be scared to try the other side. Wonderful women like this can do the same thing the little booty shaker girl does.
Giving us lessons. Bucko Healy says, look here, youngsters. Respect DJ Big Boss. Can't wait to see you on tomorrow morning's closing line show. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy your Friday night, my man.
Absolutely. And we fired up for tomorrow on the closing line. Drew, Ian, Big Ragu, and myself all together. I got to study up to hang with these guys. This is no joke. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure y'all show up, hit the like button. And we need a lot of energy for the weekend. So for everybody that's in the chat and listening, whatever, take a little time out, show some energy to all our fellow low baggers, Jimmy, the staff, SBR, and everything. Hit that like button, y'all.
There he is, DJ Big Boss. Check him tomorrow morning. Also, follow him on Twitter at DJ Big Boss. We're going to go right from DJ Big Boss to the star of the Sports Keg. We have Jay joining us, the star of the Sports Keg, making his live debut here. And this Monday night for the Monday Nighter, Jay will be taking the Sports Keg to SBR and live betting that football game. Jay, how you doing on this Friday evening?
Jim, it took me almost 2 years to get on this show. I thought about donating a kidney. I didn't know what I had to do.
It's too bad.
What's up, brother?
It's too bad that it took so long because you're a huge, huge talent and a huge asset to us. We've got you now, and we've got you on Fridays moving forward, and we are going to be leaning towards you for your NFL expertise. Jay, what's the first game on your NFL card?
The Jets and the Patriots.
I'm guessing that you are on the under.
I am on the New York Jets, my friend.
Ooh, break this down for us.
Let me break this down to a fine powder, all right? This spread shocked me. My power ratings had this game as the Pats as a 20-point favorite, okay? Basically, you know, I spend 20 hours a week on my power ratings, Jim. I trust them better than the betting market. On a neutral site, I had the Patriots just over 17 points favorite. When you add the home field advantage in, it brought you to about 20 points. When you consider that there are 3 starters on the Patriots offensive line that are either injured or banged up, I just don't see a way you could be on any other team than the New York Jets. They are not the Miami Dolphins. This line was the biggest disparity in my power ratings in 3 weeks. Because obviously, you know, the NFL has the sharpest lines because they have the biggest handle. That's just the way it is. But if you dig into the nuts of this game, when a line is 22 points, that translates to a spread that's a little under 6 points a quarter, right? But that's not accurate with a 22-point spread. Because a team that's favored by that many points is going to be up a certain amount of points in the fourth quarter, usually, in a position where they change their game plan completely. They go into the prevent mode. Their offense transitions into the running the clock out, getting out of the game healthy. So you cannot grade the fourth quarter of a 22-point spread normal. It's more like 3.5. And if that's the case, it swings heavily to the underdog covering in the fourth quarter. That's why you see so many back doors in the NFL. I think 22 is a gift. I'm on the Jets strong.
Wow. Coming out firing. Jay's first look is on the Jets plus 22, which you can't get anymore. There's 21.5s and 21s. Wow, coming out firing. I'm excited. What's the next look on your card?
You know, Houston Texans and the Chargers game. I was on Detroit last week, home +2. The Chargers did what they do. They fell apart. They made mistakes. They missed 2 field goals. They cost themselves the game. The same reason that I was on the Detroit Lions is the same reason that I'm going to be on the Texans, who are a better team. Now you got the Chargers. They were down one safety in Derwin James, right? Excellent player. Now they lose their other safety in Adrian Phillips. Their cornerback, Trevor Williams, gone. Their starting cornerback, Mike Davis, questionable, might not play. They lose a piece in Hunter Henry for God knows how long. Their best offensive lineman's out in Russell Okung. I think the Chargers are in trouble, Jim. And they're not playing the Detroit Lions this week. Deshaun Watson's going to light that secondary up. I just think it's just you're going to give them 3 points and all those injuries. I think the Texans can easily win the game outright. I think taking the 3 is automatic.
Wow. Another plus spot. And people coming in and believing in it down to the wire. Our Kyle Jack says Texans best dog of the week. Not applicable says Texans. Wow. This is exciting. Rick Rodriguez says Houston, one of the best picks this weekend. Give me the points. Fatfist says Texans are live but risky. And Jay Peach will have none of it. Says Texans lose by 10-16. Wow, this is wild. So we have Jay on Jets plus 22, Texans plus 3. Man, this is exciting. What's next on your card?
I'm taking the New York Giants. I can't believe that I'm going to say this, okay? Because I thought I wouldn't be on the New York Giants all season. But I'm going to be on them this week. I break down, like Anthony breaks down baseball with analytics. I'm deep into the analytics in the NFL. But what I will say is that Daniel Jones coming into the locker room has to be a breath of fresh air for a team that has been desperate for a spark for 2.5 years. If for no other reason than they have hope that they could win a few games, even if the hope is false, they should play inspired football. But back to the numbers, I've got Daniel Jones on par with a diminished Eli Manning. I graded them the same. I did not downgrade the Giants off the quarterback change at all. This game, Jimmy, is the second time in 7 years that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have laid 6 or more points in a game. So that makes this game an anomaly, okay? Now, I'm a big fan of backing the heavy side in an outlier game because most of the time the anomaly is warranted. The problem is I can't do it here. What constitutes the Bucs laying 6.5 points for the second time in 7 years? Jameis Winston's still the quarterback, right? The skill position players are still slightly above average, even though it doesn't matter because the quarterback's brutal and he's still choking on a W from like 3 years ago, right? The defense is about where it was last season. There is nothing that I see that constitutes their second biggest line in 7 years. The Giants are not good, but they're also not historically bad. I have to take the points here, and whatever happens, happens.
Wow, that is a wild take. Rich G says Tampa Bay is terrible. You know, I just love Arians and Bowles. You know, I love them. I think that Arians does incredible work with quarterbacks, and that we've already seen that in the week with Winston. I also like the Buccaneers' rush defense very much, and I love Vita Vea, and I think that they can slow down Saquon. I also want to see Daniel Jones do it. What we saw Daniel Jones do in the preseason was we saw him go up with the first unit up against backups, second units, third units, still fumble 3 times. So I need to see him do it. I'm very nervous hearing that you are on the plus 6.5 because I'm on the other side, and it makes me very nervous. But people are liking it. People are liking your action, and I just like hearing it. Eddie Euler on the Giants plus 7. TM says the Giants, well, Trump's president, so anything's possible. But people liking it. Liking this spot, backing your Giants, and it's exciting. If anything, Ray Williams says, same here, Giants. This team will be more motivated. Lucky Lefty has Giants money line. Wild. This is exciting stuff. We have Jay on Jets plus 22, Texans plus 3, Giants plus 6.5. Is there anything else that you're looking at?
I mean, I kind of lean towards the Lions. You know, I'm not sure if this will be a bet. I'm going to watch the line. But, you know, Philly's got they got injuries in important spots. Wentz and Ertz got banged up in that game. The second reason I think Detroit is live is how bad the Eagles secondary looked through 2 weeks of the year, bro. The Redskins lit the Eagles secondary up for 3/4 in the opener. Case Keenum throws for 400 yards in week 1. Last week, the Eagles play Atlanta. Ryan goes for 330 yards, 3 touchdowns. But what's crazy is he missed 3 legitimate 50-yard bombs because the receivers couldn't grab it. I'm telling you right now, bro, the Eagles hung a lot of hopes on how good they thought their front seven was on the defense. But the problem is they are not playing to those expectations right now. And if they aren't meeting those expectations, the cracks start to show in that Philly secondary hard. I think that's a big problem for the Eagles going forward. And, you know, the Eagles aren't the greatest team, but 6.5 points in the NFL is 6.5 points. They're live to cover that spread.
I think so too. And, you know, Jay Peach always scares me from backing the Lions. And here it does feel like you can't get 6.5 anymore. There's 5s. There's a 4.5 at Heritage. So people on the same look as you. Joshua Gray, Hammered Brewers first 5 and Yanks first 5. Love them. Thank you for joining us, Joshua. Absolutely great stuff. Jay making his debut live on Betting with the Bag. We will have him every Friday moving forward. And this Monday, the Sports Keg will be live on SBR Live Betting. Jay, tell us a little more about the Sports Keg and where we can find you on Twitter.
I started a live betting show with a couple kids about 8 months ago. We grind 40 hours a week. I'm on that show, 6 hours a night, 7 days a week. And we're up 295 units in 8 months, Jim. And that is legit. And I've been grinding hard, man. I'm so thankful that you and Natalie noticed. And we're bringing the live betting show to SBR, man. We're going to get that Monday night kegger going. Let's go.
I love it. And where can we find you on Twitter?
At the Sports Keg CEO. It's the Sports Keg YouTube channel.
Sports Keg YouTube channel. I will be rocking with Jay and the boys on Monday. I look very much forward to it. I will be there. And I'm going to be sitting beside Flash. Flash and I will both be live on that show as well. Jay, thank you so much for joining us. Can't wait to have you on more.
Love you, bro.
Love you too, homie. There he is. Right there. There he is. Before we bring in our final guest, Al Mack, we've been closing our weeks with Al Mack, and he's been handing out winners after winner and also 8 straight in CFL. We are going to go to our first UFC play of the day video. Let's go with our guy, Rafa, the fight analyst. We're going to pop off the fight analyst with his UFC play of the day. Rafa, how we looking? We good there? All right, let's see. Here he is, the fight analyst.
What's up, everyone? It's the Fight Analyst here, and I'm back yet again for my best bets at UFC Mexico City. Unfortunately, we're coming off another tough loss, another split decision loss, and we've been getting killed with those the last 2 weeks. But that doesn't mean we can't get back to it this weekend. And we're looking to place our bets on Jose Quinones at minus 140. And you can get that line courtesy of 5 dimes. In this fight, you have the veteran in Quinones taking on Carlos Joaquin, who's actually taking his second fight in the UFC. Joaquin came in on short notice in his first fight against Joni Barcelos, which is a really tough fight for him. And he essentially got knocked out in the second round. And that's not really too disheartening because Barcelos is a very good and lethal striker. But he's also going against another very good striker and all-around mixed martial artist in Quinones. Quinones has been he's about 4-2 in his UFC career. He's coming off a loss, but against a very top prospect in Nathaniel Wood. Quinones, he's 7-3, but all 3 of his losses are to top top 20 competitors in his division. So that's not really anything concerning. He's been beating everybody that's really lower level than him, and I see that Joaquin is definitely lower level than him here. Quinones has been killing it with his striking. He's outstriking his opponents by about 15% or so. He's landing at over 3 strikes per minute, and he's only absorbing about 2 to 2.5 strikes a minute as well. Joaquin came in and got absolutely obliterated just in 2 rounds against Barcelos, only landing a little over 2 strikes per minute clip, and then absorbing over 6 strikes. I know it's just a small sample size, but that's really looks well for Quinones here. Also, Quinones is a very good grappler. He's actually successful on 46% of his takedowns. He's landing 2.77 takedowns per 15 minutes. That means he's going and trying to get the fight to the mat over 6 takedowns per 15 minutes. So that's very good here against a guy that's a pure striker and probably doesn't have that great of a ground game. Majority of his wins have come by knockout. So I think Quinones should be able to really exploit that weakness there. And we're getting an absolutely great line here on minus 140 on a guy that's really been in there with some tough competition, especially against somebody as high as Nathaniel Wood, someone I think is definitely going to be a really big contender coming up soon. So that's what I have for you guys. We're going to cash these bets this weekend. Let's get this money. Let's get Jose Quinones bets in there on minus 140, and let's get this money. You guys can follow me at Fight Analyst on Twitter. And guys, go subscribe to mine and Fat Fist MMA's YouTube page. It's Beer, Bets, and Breakdowns, where we have a beer, break down some fights with some UFC fighters. Actually, tonight, Friday, we have PFL fighter Christopher Curtis on with us. He's going to be shooting the shit and having a beer, and previewing some PFL and his fight coming up against Magomed Karamov. It's going to be a great time. Just come in and have a beer with us. So I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Have a good one.
There he is, the Fight Analyst. And Steve, is that minus 140 available? I will check that out. We also have a play of the day from Mr. Fat Fist. But let's bring in our guy, Al Mack, to the show, representing the 6th, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Al Mack been feeding us winners for 8 straight in CFL. Al Mack, thank you for joining us. How are you doing on this Friday evening?
I'm just looking at finally the line came out on that Edmonton-Hamilton game, and I think that there's a big mistake that bookies have made in this one, if you want to talk about that to start off.
Well, you've hit 8 straight in CFL. I'm already on the Argos +7. What's your thoughts on this spot?
Okay, so you look at this. I don't know what's going on here. This is an absolute must-win for the Edmonton Eskimos against Hamilton tonight. You look at this team, their net rating. Edmonton 6.99 yards per play, 6.19 yards against per play. Hamilton 6.96 yards per play, 6.69 yards against per play. I got Edmonton rated about 2 points better than Hamilton at home here, maybe about a point worse than them on a neutral field. And this line, like, I had to look like twice to know that I thought it was minus 2.5 Edmonton. It's plus 2.5 Edmonton. I think this is a really good spot to back the Eskimos. They need to win this game if they want to stay relevant in the West. If they want to get out of that crossover spot. I'm gonna bet Edmonton on the spread and on the money line. I'm gonna split a unit between both those. I think that this is a solid spot. Dane Evans has been good for Hamilton, but they haven't really. They came off playing Calgary when Mitchell was just coming back from injury. They played well. Calgary came back and beat them by 1 point, but I think Edmonton smokes them. This is a must-win for Edmonton. I think I really like the Eskimos in this one.
Liking the Eskimos, and Al is running hot right now. Muhammad Joma says, I'm here in Edmonton. Don't bet poorly coached teams. You know, I don't necessarily trust the coaching staff of the Ticats. And, you know, we talk about not getting in the way of streaks. Are you still, I jumped on I got the Argos at +7. You can still get them at Bet365 at +7, -115, but that's going away. A lot of 6.5s on the board. I'm going to run with Al here. I'm going to run with Al on the Eskimos. I'm going to take them on +2.5 here. And let's see what I'm getting, +2.5. There's a -108 at Pinnacle. And that's the best I can get. +2.5 at -108. Al, great stuff. And you still liking these Argos at +7?
Yeah, it was really interesting. Like when we were talking yesterday, it moved to -115 on the +7, which I didn't think it was going to. I thought by this time today it would probably be at closer to -8 for Calgary. So it moved a bit juice line on the 7. But then earlier today, it was at like -105. So this line has been moving back and forth, back and forth. I think the sharps are on the Argos, and I'm with the Argos on this one. I think what you can do here is bet the Argos on like maybe like a couple units, put on the Argos +7. But then if you really want, throw 1 unit on the Calgary winning margin 1-6 at +300. If Calgary fails to cover, you can cash a Toronto +7 ticket and a Calgary winning margin by +300. I doubt the Argos are going to beat Calgary, but I think this is going to stay within a touchdown.
I like that look, getting the +300 as well. There it is. That's Al's Friday's look. Al, quickly on to Saturday. I want to know you want to talk about some other stuff as well, but is there anything you're looking at? Bombers, Alouettes, Lions, Redblacks?
Yeah, like I said on Wednesday, I think that Montreal really needs to beat Winnipeg, but Winnipeg is they need this win as well. Those 3 teams, Calgary, Edmonton, and Winnipeg, they're all battling. I see this one. I think Winnipeg on the money line is probably a good bet to make. Montreal +2.5. I kind of lean on both sides where I think that Winnipeg is going to win the game, but it's going to be like a 2 or 3 point game. So by my power ratings, it looks like Montreal. There's a little bit of value on the money line on Montreal, but then when I just look at these teams head to head, it looks like Winnipeg is about a half point better than Montreal on their home field. So it's one of those games where I'm probably going to grab the money line, and then again, the Winnipeg winning margin prop 1-6 at +333. I like that a lot.
Backing Winnipeg 1-6 again at plus money. And what about these Leos Redblacks?
Yeah, like I just think that this is it's almost the exact same scenario. I think that if this line was more closer to 4, I just like it's going to be one of those things where I think Ottawa probably covers. They probably shouldn't be a dog at home, but it's going to be one of those things where I think BC might win by 1 or 2 points again. So it's one of those things. I know it's a small middle between these two, but you're getting close to plus money. You're getting a -110 and then a big plus price. Again, I've had success doing this all year. Ottawa +3 and then grab BC winning margin 1-6 +320.
I like it. There's that a CFL breakdown. We've had Al hitting 8 straight CFL bets. Al, what else do you want to talk about? I know you hammer all sports. So what do you want to move on to? What's next on your card?
Okay, so I'm just going to give out I haven't had it was another horrific Thursday night football night for me. The only thing that we hit was the under, and even that team total, it's just brutal. Like I need to stop betting Thursday night football games. But I have 3 solid spots that I like that I'm going to talk about in NFL today. Just so I know, what is it that you're? I just watched the Audible. What is it that you're solid on going into this?
If you want, I mean, I've already made a ton of bets. What am I most confident in? If you're asking what I'm most confident in, I like the under 42.5 Broncos Packers. Obviously, seeing it go up to 43 and 44 does take away a little bit of my confidence. So I guess I'm not that confident there. I like the Chiefs a lot, but seeing it go down to 5, it came back up to 5.5, does make me uncomfortable. I'm going to take a closer look at how much rain there is going to be on Sunday and maybe make a look on the under. I haven't done that yet. So what am I most confident on? Let's see. The under 47 in Lions-Eagles, I love. I guess I'm very confident on the Lions-Eagles under 47 with all the injuries that are going on. I like the Buccaneers, and hearing Jay on the Giants makes me uncomfortable. That does concern me quite a bit. I'm on the over 43 in Steelers-Niners. I thought we'd see a 45 by now. That's not the case. I do think that with Staley out, that the Steelers defense can make it a little more uncomfortable on Jimmy G, but I think Mason Rudolph can put up points, so I'm on the over 43 there, but again, I thought that I was going to smash a line move, and I haven't. I'm on Rams -3 at +101. Even that, backing the West Coast team in Cleveland thankfully it's a night game. That's what, if this was a 1 o'clock game, I'd be very uncomfortable, but it's the night game, so I feel good there. And then I'm uncomfortable with my moves on the Monday, so I'd say my favorite look is that Eagles-Lions under 47. What are your favorite looks on this card?
Well, I'm one to ride on these stats, these trends, and one that I've stumbled upon that applies to a bunch of teams, and a bunch of them I'm just throwing away. But I really like the Bears. And with the Bears, so a stat that I stumbled upon was so in week 3, since 2016, teams that have started the season 0-2 ATS have gone 16-5 in the third week of the season. That's over the past 3 years combined since 2016. And I'm going to just make it very simple. The Bears are the number 3 defense in the league. And the Washington is the number 30 defense in the league. Washington has a net power rating of -4.5 points. And the Bears have a net power rating of 0. This line opened on the look ahead at Washington +4. It moved to +4.5, and now it moved back to 4. I think this is a spot where Chicago gets their offense back on track. I'm not a fan of Mitchell Trubisky, but I mean, just if you just even if they were just snapping the ball on Wildcat, I just think that Chicago's offensive weapons are way better than what Washington's are. All things considered here, I think this line should be like 7, 7.5. I think there's a ton of value. This line, yeah, it's sitting at 4, and I think there's still a solid amount of value, even if Chicago take money. I already locked in Chicago -4 at -102 at Pinnacle.
Al is on the Bears -4 as his first look on this NFL card. What's your next one?
Okay, so I really like the Colts as well versus the Falcons. If you look at the winning trends in 2019, leaving out against the spread, favorites have won 64.5% of the games so far in 2019, 11-1. Home favorites have won 57% of games so far in 2019, 11-8. The Falcons are 3-7 ATS in their last 10 games under Dan Quinn, 3-9 in their last 12 games following a win. The favorite has won 4 of the last 5. And the Colts are 5-1 ATS in their last 6 against the Falcons. The thing about the Falcons, though, is that they've been gifted a big opportunity here to take the lead in the NFC South. Drew Brees is out. Cam Newton dealing with injuries. I feel like the door is swung wide open for the Falcons to take this division. But first, they got to focus on beating the Colts. Jacoby Brissett is off to a hot start. He's completed 69.1% of his passes. 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. I know that Marlon Mack, he's 3rd in the league with 225 rushing yards. Defensively, the Colts have shined, but if Mack didn't practice on Wednesday, I think he's now confirmed that he's not going to play. I think that this game comes down to who can protect the ball better, and the Falcons' defense is just not that good. At the end of the day, I have these teams about a point better than each other, depending on who's at home. But with the Colts at home, I think there's probably about 3 points better than the Falcons with that three. It's an indoor field, that 3.5 home field advantage. The Colts have a slightly better defense, a marginally more efficient offense. Even with Mac out of the equation, I still think that the Colts take care of the ball here. This line opened on the look ahead as Colts -2.5. It's since moved to Colts -1. It currently sits there now. I think there's about 2 points of value on the Colts here. This is a game that should be probably Indy -3, and it's -1. And I'll be on the Colts. I got it -107 at Pinnacle at -1.
You know, it's a big game. It's a big game for all my Falcon futures. I'm gonna still wait, get a little more interest, get a little more news on what's going on injury-wise. But I like it. I like this. So we have Bears -4, Colts -1. Al, we've got to put a bow on this. So can we hear what your third look on this NFL card is? And we got to tighten it up a bit.
Yeah, sure. So just lastly, I think Carolina's going to go in and beat Arizona. Just even with an injured Cam Newton, I think that even with an injured Cam Newton, I think that this Kyle Allen kid is an upgrade because Newton has been injured. So, and even with an injured Cam Newton, they've still been a decent, profitable team. 5.1 yards on offense per play, 4.9 yards on defense per play, net rating of plus 0.2. I think I just think questionable coaching. I think Rivera's got the coaching edge here, and I just think if the offense runs out of McCaffrey, I just think it's a wash. I think you're getting a ton of value on the Panthers just because of the injury. I like the Panthers a lot. And then really quickly, I like Baltimore big time, and I like Detroit big time, and I like the Jets. So those are my 6 plays that I'm going to be putting into the Pick 6 contest. Indy, Carolina, the Jets, Chicago, Baltimore, and Detroit.
There we have it. We have Bears -4, Colts -1, Panthers +2.5, Ravens, depending on where you get it, +6.5 to 5.5, Lions, same sort of deal, and the Jets rolling with the Jets. So that's Jay from the Sports Keg and Al Mack both taking the Jets. Wow, that's a wild, man. Al Mack, thank you so much for joining us on this Friday. Al Mack also on the Argos and the Eskimos. He also is on the other side there in that Argo spot with the team to win from 1 to 6, that prop, and getting out +300 at least on those prop bets. Al, what a treat it is to roll with you. Where can we find you on Twitter? Tell us a little bit about Spark Sports.
Yeah, so find me on Twitter at SparkAlMac, and then sparksports.ca. I'm just pumping out a ton of content. I have my defensive and offensive ratings every week. It seems to be a big thing with these defenses. It's the best way to be able to gauge who can cover spreads, not necessarily who can win games, but who can cover spreads. Those big winning margins against with the Jets and Miami this weekend. So that's a big factor, and it will be all year. It will only get better as the years go on. So sparksports.ca, hit that up, and you'll find all my handicapping there.
There he is, Al Mack, joining us from Toronto. Al, have a wonderful weekend. I'll be following you very closely on Twitter to see how everything's rolling. But thanks so much for joining us, my man.
Yeah, and hit up my first TD props. Those would be very profitable this weekend.
First TD, broke that down on Wednesday. Those are paying out at least +600 and up, and he's been hitting very hard. There he is, Al Mack, joining us. All right, we're going to go from Al Mack to our Mr. Fat Fist UFC play of the day. Rafa, hit us one time, my man.
What's up, Jimmy? What's up, low baggers? What's up, fight fans? Fat Fist is back, ready to attack UFC Fight Night, Mexico City, Mexico. With the altitude, it's at its worst. And yes, that's going to pay dividends for people's gas tanks this weekend. I don't care how long they've been there. It's going to hurt. That being said, there's probably going to be more finishes on the card, so I would be betting the unders rather than the overs this card. But that's not my play. I got 2 plays for y'all. I got a parlay with Irene Aldana and Ciara Eubanks. You're going to get that at William Hill at -160. Aldana, she's just a supreme striker. Her boxing is just so crisp. She's probably one of the best strikers in that division. Probably one of the best pure boxers there is in that division for sure. And Eubanks' jiu-jitsu is ridiculous. She's got great striking, crisp striking as well, but she uses that to set up her takedowns and her clinch work. and I think that's what she's going to do to Betch. I think she's going to put Betch on the cage, take her down, maybe slap a submission, but she's going to win that fight. You're going to get that at -160 at William Hill, and that's the parlay. Next up, we got Grasso and Esparza. I'm on Grasso. Esparza, she's looked good as of late. She lost to Tatiana Suarez, but who doesn't lose to Tatiana Suarez? Let's get that fact out there. The only person beating Suarez is Valentina Shevchenko right now. And she had beaten but lost to Claudia Gadeja. I know you guys watched that fight. Claudia got that W, and it was a complete robbery. That was Esparza's fight, 2-1 easily, but the judges gave it to Claudia. But she's looked great. She has improved, but Grasso, 4 fights ago, I wouldn't be saying this. I would be taking Carla in this scenario. But the amount she's improved in the last 4 fights, she's 10 times better. She's way bigger. She's a way better striker, a lot crisper. Her combinations are way more fluid than Carla. Carla's not going to be able to take her down, and if she does take her down, she's getting right back up. Grasso's going to get right back to her feet. She's too big. So my pick here is Alexa Grasso, and you get her at -120 at William Hill. So yes, I'll be shopping at William Hill today. I'm looking at a lot of the odds. I'm seeing a lot of the best odds over there at William Hill. So jump on that. Also, just to touch up on last week, we cashed on that Justin Gaethje inside the distance. Gotcha, Clint. It's all right, though. I know there's more to come. Can't wait for this contest that SBR is going to start up, this UFC contest we got going. Make things a little bit more fun, a little more competitive. And that's it. If you guys want to reach out to me, you can get me at Mr. Fatfist on Twitter and on Instagram. Just Mr. Fatfist, no period. And also, guys, check out our new show, Beers, Bets, and Breakdowns. Tonight, we're actually going to have on PFL fighter Chris Curtis. And we're going to break down some of the upcoming fights on Saturday. And that's it. Till next time, Mr. Fatfist is out.
There he is on Grasso. Alexa Grasso at -120, fresh off a big play of the day win last week. And check his show out with the fight analyst. 2 great cappers and 2 great guys. We're going to go right from that video to the number 1 play of the day, Ref. Hit us one time.
Look, people, I have to do this really fast because Jimmy's outside the door. He doesn't want me to do this because apparently I got angry with a few Mexicans the other day because Argentina beat them. But hey, whatever, this is football. So my pick for this weekend is Valencia versus Leganés. Leganés, they suck. They are Jimmy's family. They belong into his group. They are horrible. They have been losing non-stop. And Valencia, they won surprisingly this week against Chelsea without the coach. They are pretty impressive. So I'm expecting Valencia to win at -130 this weekend.
There he is, number 1. And if he goes down double-digit units, we're cutting them. Fucking cutting them. All right, what a wild show. Thank you to all of our guests. What a treat it is to roll with you guys, man. Just wild, wild, wild stuff here with all these guests. I love it. Back to tonight's action. I did add 1 spot on this late MLB card. I did add the first 5 under 5 in that A's-Rangers game, but what's popping off right now, Indians team total over 4.5. I'm on. That's 5.5 now. I don't know if you'd want it. The other play I'm on is the over 10.5 in the Mariners-Orioles. Donnie Right-side's on the Orioles. And I'm not taking the Rays at -1, and late money's actually coming in on the Red Sox. I guess everyone else seeing Mookie Betts in the lineup. Maybe he sparks them. I'm going to put a bow on this, and what a treat it is to roll with you guys all week long. It's time to start drinking heavy and put in more college football bets. I got to go over 5 days of notes and decide what to jump on. I am on 4 spots already. I'm on the Utes tonight, and I added, so I'm on the Utes. We already hit yesterday in that Houston Tulane over. And then the plays I added the over at 55 Boise Air Force. That's gone down because of the wind. That makes me nervous. And the other spot that I jumped on is the ODU plus 28. Fuzz Logic says, my daughter's name is Valencia. Her birthday's tomorrow. I might just have the Valencia play. I like it, man. I like it, Fuzzy Logic. Happy birthday to your daughter. Much love to all you guys. Thank you so much for all the guests, man. Mela Pellis Place is telling your O's over. Let's get it, Mela. Let's get it. Let's have a great weekend, and I'll stay in touch with all you guys on Twitter throughout. But we have no show without you guys. Truly, truly thank you. And let's have a great weekend. Let's have a big, big, big weekend. But most importantly,
Leche, a los bookmakers.